I have been absolutely loving Dragon Quest XI since it came out this last Tuesday. And I am so glad to see a modern JRPG that is done in the style of the PS2 eras not only come out, but come out for the PC as well. That's something that I honestly did not think would happen if you just asked me a year ago about this kind of thing. It is basically a love letter to every Dragon Quest VIII fan that exists. It is such a good game and so reminiscent of that to the point where they gave you a free suit that was the Dragon Quest VIII suit. Just so good in every way. It's basically Dragon Quest VIII with every quality of life that you could have wanted in that game. And it seems that the majority of the internet agrees with me. It is beloved by everyone playing it right now. It is just so well received. I didn't think that a classic throwback JRPG, turn-based of all things, would be this well liked, but it is. And then IGN had to go and say something. Now, this review that they did is very strange because it reads like something that an actual person that likes JRPGs would write, but then it kind of veers off in this weird direction for no reason. Now, I'm going to quote the first part that other people will say is a little bit off. I don't think so, and I'm going to explain why after I quote it. The voice work in Dragon Quest XI generally high quality. Wow, there's no is in there, okay? But I chose early on to mute character dialogue in favor of subtitles. I prefer to speed through conversations in any RPG I play, but in this case, the liberal application of accents was distracting. If you're a reviewer, I can understand you speeding through dialogue. You get the gist of it quick enough so that you don't have to read every single word at any moment. I'm actually on that guy's side in this regard, if that's how he was meaning it, which I'm trying to throw him benefit of the doubt that he is. But then I read something like this, and it starts to call to question everything else. Dragon Quest XI is a throwback in at least one negative way. Its uneven story simply isn't a match for its mechanics, and that I can probably agree with. I'm not too far in the story myself, but I have noticed that modern JRPGs don't do stories as well as the classic ones did. I'll give you that. He doesn't mean it like that, though. Some of the beats could have been far more engaging with just a little more refinement. Again, completely fair. I'd also be remiss not to mention some of the cringe-inducing sexualization present in Dragon Quest XI. Welcome to my pain. What does a side quest tasking you to dress up female party members like fetishized bunny girls really add to the Dragon Quest experience? First of all, you saying that makes me think you didn't actually play the game, because that's not a side quest. That's just a thing that the game allows you to do. Second of all, at worst, they are the Playboy bunny girls. And Dragon Quest, that's about as sexual as Dragon Quest gets. This is a long-standing tradition in Dragon Quest, and it's done kind of as a parody of other JRPGs that did sexualize and do sexualize characters. People don't seem to realize this. Akira Toriyama. Wow, Toriyama, I'm an idiot. Akira Toriyama, he made Dragon Ball initially as a parody of shonen mangas, and then it became basically the granddaddy of all shonen mangas. But initially, Dragon Ball itself was made as a parody, which is also what he carried his character design over into Dragon Quest to do. It was something of a parody of the typical JRPG character of the day, including the sexualized woman. He did it as a joke, and now that seems to be, even the parody seems to be going too far. Because over the past 30 years, we have regressed as to what is acceptable rather than progressed. It's kind of ridiculous. But he goes on. Dragon Quest's long tradition of Puff Puff, a pseudo-sexual metaphor coined by Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama, also returns in Dragon Quest XI. So you get that it's a parody, but you're still upset. Go on. Dragon Quest games have long included semi-lewd Puff Puff references as a sort of Easter egg, and Echoes of an Elusive Age leans too heavily into that tradition. I.e., it has them, ergo I'm triggered. At times it's played for laughs. That would be all of them. It's just that you don't like them. A cliffside Puff Puff turns out to be just some bungee jumping, and another proves nothing more than an innocent makeup application. But one optional encounter really put me off. I'm going to emphasize the word optional here, as in he had to choose to do it. The game never made him. He had to go out of his way to find it and then choose to actually do it, knowing what it was. I was invited into a girl's dim bedroom where I received a Puff Puff in a dim room. And when the lights came back on, her father was standing there. She revealed that he'd delivered the Puff Puff in the dark. The consent implications troubled me. I didn't find it funny. Okay, first, this is actually something of a throwback to, it was like Dragon Quest 2 or 3 that did this exact same joke. So it's a throwback to an old joke that they've done before, something as a treat to the fans. So you're upset, once again proving my point, by something that was done 20 years ago. That was perfectly fine then, that in your mind isn't now, because it's current year, and we should know better. And second, and this is the really big thing that drives me up a wall, you're using the word consent wrong. Consent has become another buzzword that the media seems to be just throwing around at everything so that they can say, oh, well, this was rape or this was sexual assault without actually saying those words. It's become rather annoying because they don't seem to be using consent right, or they don't understand what consent is. Hell, just this week I read an article about how up in Canada the author is upset that sex dolls exist. Not the AI robot ones, but just plastic sex dolls, because they cannot give consent. Ergo, it is raping the dolls. To which I would like to ask, how do dildos work exactly? You can't get consent of an inanimate object. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Are you out of your fucking minds? And yeah, this is the kind of shit that really just, it drives me up a wall. English does not seem to be understood here by people who should be speaking English as their first language. How the fuck are you in the media in English journalism, where you have to write in English and you don't understand English words? That does not compute. Consent does not work the way you think consent works. I'm sorry, but there is no consent issue here over digital characters. Are you out of your fucking mind? Just so many ways that this just riled me up. And then the ending didn't help. The final verdict recap bullshit thing read as follows. Dragon Quest XI excels when it emphasizes fighting bad guys, exploring dungeons, and finding treasure. It's a visual feast populated by a cast of colorful monsters more engrossing than its main characters. Uneven story beats and some icky bits sometimes slow Dragon Quest down, but superb mechanics remain the focus, making Echoes of an Elusive Age a top-tier JRPG for the modern age. Icky bits. Icky bits. Are you fucking 5? I hate whenever I see this. Oh, it's icky. Oh, it's gross. Learn English. Get a dictionary. Get a thesaurus. Learn other words that are not used by 5-year-olds to describe something they don't like. Icky bits. Are you out of your fucking mind? And what upsets me about that is that is in the post-review recap. So I have to be led to believe that the Puff Puff existing at all, because that's the icky bit he's referring to, cost the game a little bit of score. So you didn't base it on story, mechanics, how well it worked, etc. You based it on the fact that you were upset that a Puff Puff, something you found icky, was in the game. People wonder why I say journalism has no, gaming journalism has no standards. There you go. How else am I supposed to interpret it when, once again, the final verdict recap says that the icky bits are what he didn't like? You know, maybe if you want an explanation of what exactly you dock the game points for, as opposed to just saying icky bits, I might not have an issue with it. But I don't have anything else to draw on, so I have to believe you took points off for that, which is not something you should take points off for. There's plenty of shit in games that I don't like personally, but I can still recognize that it is a good game or that it does the subject matter well. And that seems to be the issue here. If you don't like, you see that as a negative rather than it doesn't work. So that's why I'm taking it off. Fucking hell. To tell you how just out of left field this dude is, on the video version of this review, Angry Joe commented. And it surprised everyone. Joe's comment surprised everyone because this is the guy that's been spurging out the last 2-3 weeks over Battlefield 5 and how, oh, you people don't like it just because it has women. Dude's lost his mind, and yet he leaves this comment. Is this guy being serious about the optional bunny outfits? How is that over-sexualization? I do not think that means what you think it means. If Angry Joe, of all people, right now, is saying that you have lost the plot, you might have fucked up. I'm just so annoyed that this kind of shit keeps happening. So far, IGN's review is the only major one that I've seen that's done something like this. But it's just so baffling to see it in general. Why the fuck would you put that in your review and then keep it such a major point that you actually talked about it again in the recap as icky bits? I guess the reviewer is 5. So what are you doing playing a T-rated game? I just don't... IGN right now is so fucking weird. The gaming media is so fucking weird, and that this shocks me shouldn't be a surprise, or that this happened at all shouldn't shock me, but it does, and I don't know why. I guess I just expected better. I expected a T-rated game that didn't have over-sexualization, that did the sexualization stuff as a joke, that they wouldn't find that offensive, but I guess I keep forgetting that they have the mentality of 5 and 10-year-olds. So again, why are they playing T and M-rated games? I'll never know. This has been Math Machine, just complaining about the icky bits in my video games. I'm never going to let IGN live that down. Peace out.